Okay, good morning, everybody. Day 2 of 21 Days of Reiki, and I tell you what, it has been an interesting 24 hours for me. You open up yourself to your guides and you ask for help and inspiration, and they'll tell you. So, some things that have come up for me. Yesterday, I talked about resistance and the things that were getting in the way, and I've had some insights. The biggest thing is priorities. I realize, what is a priority in my life? Is it me? Is it the laundry? Is it family? Is it the dogs? What's going on? And have I shifted my priorities based on my anxieties, my stress, my guilt? Just all those expectations. I'm home right now, I'm not working, so, I'm expected to be, or I expect myself to be, the perfect housewife, clean house, all the laundry done, kids taken care of, dogs taken care of, husband taken care of, dinner on the table every night, and a home-cooked dinner, not something frozen from the freezer. So, yeah, but are those things actually priorities? And I realize, I'm not working, but I'm going to school and I am teaching and my spiritual life is important to me. So, have I actually made those priorities? And I haven't because I've allowed my guilt and my expectations of myself to get in the way. So, one of the things, and we see these quarter charts all the time now, but I love the one about whether or not it's actually a priority. Is it both important and urgent? So, for example, I have a ton of laundry to do, a ton, but everyone has underwear. In 2 days they won't have underwear, but today everyone has underwear. And, we're going to be okay for 2 more days. So, yeah, it's kind of important, but not for 2 more days. And it's urgent because it's stressing me out that there's all these piles of laundry, but it's not actually urgent yet. 2 more days. So, I can put the laundry off a little bit further and focus on my spiritual health and focus on my homework and focus on my loved ones and the things that really matter. So these are things that are really important to me. The other thing I realized, and it was so clear yesterday as I was creating the videos and trying to put them up and having a steep learning curve for all this new technology that, I'm not used to using, but people really want me to use. I was getting texted by my daughter. I need to come home. And those of you who've taken classes with me know my daughter's in a special program, and sometimes I just need to drop everything and go get her. But what I realize is that's actually not true. Yesterday, while I was trying to do this, and I'd committed to doing this and promised myself I would do it, as I'm getting these texts, I realized, you know what? No, she's in a safe space. She's okay. I don't actually need to go get her right now. I don't have to drop everything. I was able to say, okay, find yourself a quiet room, let your teachers know what's going on, and I will be there as soon as I can because I need to finish what I'm doing first. Because that's never going to change in my life, and I need to be okay with that. So I can't just drop everything all the time. And if she's safe and secure, it's okay to defer it just a little bit. So yeah, reprioritizing has been really important over the last 24 hours for me to think about. So things for you to think about as well, like really, are you making yourself a priority? Are you making your spirituality a priority? How much of a priority is it for you? Things to think about. The other thing that came in very loud and clear yesterday was that we're going to send Reiki to our higher beings every single day of these 21 days. So clearly came through. So that'll be part of our everyday process. And then the other thing that came through was the importance of breathing. So, and it's so funny because I teach this in every one of my classes and all my meditation classes, and pretty much everything that I talk about needing to make sure that we're breathing properly. And yet, yesterday I was reminded again, and I'm even doing it right now because I'm a little bit worked up and nervous and I'm not breathing properly. So, reminded that, hey, belly breathing is the natural way to breathe. Breathing up here happens when we're stressed, when we're anxious, when we're in pain. And, I've had a lot of that in my life. But one way to calm myself down is to force my body to belly breathe. Belly breathing, soft belly, I've said it 100 times, that forces your body into a calm state. So today we're going to work on belly breathing as well. And the most hilarious thing is that the card that I pulled for today from William Lee Rand's deck again is, hey, put your hands on your belly. So that's what we're going to do. This one, so he calls it position 10, placing your hands near the top of the pubic bone. What you want to do is create like a diamond with your hands and then put it on your belly. And ideally, you can actually do this lying down. It will work better for you to feel what's going on in your belly. But when you breathe and your belly expands, that diamond should open up and your hands should actually separate from each other because your belly is growing with your breath. And then when you exhale and your stomach pulls back in, your fingers come together. And they might even come together a little bit more than what they were like when you originally started, because your belly is pushing in, pushing the diaphragm in, which pushes all the air out of the lungs. So that's going to be very important. So we're going to work on that today. And the last thing, I pulled another card. This is the South. South is fire, sacrifice, passion, transformation. And the card comes from this deck, which is called A 21-Day Walk with Reiki, and it is by Moontime Sisters. It looks like that. And the message is, sacrifice everything to joy today, which also goes along with breathing properly, because if you are not breathing properly, you can't experience joy. Well, you can experience excitement, but you can't experience that like soft, contented, wow, like my life is just good feeling without that calm, soft belly. So we're going to do that today, but first and foremost, let's get ourselves grounded and centered and do our gasho. So we'll bring our hands together. And remember, when you're bringing your hands together, you're doing all the things that we're going to do now. So bringing our hands together, first and foremost, we focus on our breath. Belly breathing breath. In through the nose. Pause. Out through the mouth for longer than you breathed in. And the reason we breathe longer out is because the exhalation is when the body relaxes and releases. The exhalation is when everything can settle down and go where it needs to go and rest. Okay? So let's do 3 breaths, just focusing on our breath. So in through the nose. Hold and out through the mouth. I learned an interesting thing in the yoga class that I'm taking right now. Do you know the vagus nerve? The vagus nerve it's a very large bundle of nerves. It runs down the center of the body to the stomach and the intestines, and is very much related to our sense of well-being, calmness and that sort of natural rhythm of our body. And when the vagus nerve gets pinched or stressed out, that's when we start to feel all this drama in our body. Interesting, when you make that ha sound, when you're exhaling, and it kind of vibrates in the back of your throat, you're actually vibrating and relaxing the vagus nerve as well. So I thought that was super interesting. But I think I'm saying it wrong. Anyways, I'll look it up and I'll post it in the thing. Now I'm questioning myself. I'll figure it out. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. It's kind of pop culture right now. So when you're breathing out, think about vibrating your throat with your breath. So a good solid or an om. That om vibrates in the top of your nose, vibrates in the back of your throat, brings the body to a different vibration. Okay, so I'm sure you've had more than 3 breaths, but I haven't had 3 breaths. So here we go. Okay, now we want to get our roots deep into the earth, our earth connection. We want that earth connection not only to be grounded and connected to the earth, to be able to pull that nurturing, healing energy up, but also to be able to release the energy that no longer serves us into the ground. So one of the ways to help with belly breathing is actually to have that deep connectedness to the earth so that you can let go of all of that stuff that's causing you to breathe up here and sink down into relaxation and just contentment and peace. Because sometimes we can't be relaxed, but we can still be contented and peaceful. So sink those roots down into the earth. And I like to use the red imagery for earth energy. You can also use cobalt blue. It's quite popular in Reiki circles to use cobalt blue. That's fine. Whatever works for you, but I like to use the red energy. Red energy is also south, which is also passion, which is what we're working with today as well. So something to think about. All right, so let's hands in gasho, focused on our breathing, feet flat on the floor and throwing those roots deep into the earth. Breathing in earth energy, breathing out tension and stress. Breathing with our bellies. All right, we've got a good flow with the earth. Now we want a good flow with Reiki energy, universal love force. So I want you to imagine white healing light coming from above down into your crown chakra, down through the body and out through the root, so the base of the spine and the root chakras at the feet, the soles of the feet, okay? So 3 breaths in with that, drawing Reiki, universal love energy down. And out. And don't forget, while you're doing all these visualizations, remember your belly breath, even though you're focusing on your visualizations. So we've got a good connection to Earth. We've got a good connection to Reiki. And now let's bring our hands together for Gasho. And today I'm going to try and do a different version of the 5 principles as often as I can, because there's so many different versions out there. So today we'll do this one. It's essentially the reverse of what we did yesterday. Focusing on our belly breath, keeping our roots strong, keeping the connection to Reiki strong. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just for today, I will let go of worry. I will let go of anger. I will do my work honestly. I will remember to give thanks. I will be kind to my neighbor and to all living things. Now, if for some reason you're still not feeling centered, with your next 3 breaths, breathe in through the nose. Drop your breath down to the navel chakra and imagine white healing light, a beam of white healing light coming out of your navel chakra with your breath. So the energy comes in through the nose, up through the crown chakra, down behind the third eye and the throat and the heart, down over the back of the navel, solar plexus navel, under the root, up to the navel chakra in the front, and out with your breath. And 2 more breaths. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is spend, let's say, 3 minutes sending Reiki energy to our healers above, whoever you want to work with. If you want to work with the same guide every day, if you want to work with the same God every day, doesn't matter. Choose anyone today, someone new or someone old, and let's send some Reiki out. So if you have the distance symbol, go ahead and use that symbol to build a bridge between yourself and that guide. If you don't, that's okay. Remember, beaming from level 1, go ahead and let Reiki just flow from your heart out your arms to that being, that entity. Maybe it's your house elves. Who knows? Imagine them in front of you and just beam Reiki to them. All right. So here we go. We'll go for 3 minutes. Focusing on breathing Reiki in, that white healing light. And breathing Reiki out through the hands to your chosen recipient. Sometimes your recipients will choose themselves. Mine has stepped in just like a cat would. This is for me today. And that's awesome. That's a sign that this guide really wants to work with me and wants a deeper connection. So I will gratefully accept that and offer love and connection to this guide. So about 1 more minute. All right, let's bring ourselves back to the room. Thank your guides, whoever you worked with. You can continue to send Reiki to them if you like, or you can move on to the next step, which is the mantra, remember, is sacrifice everything to joy today. And the position is diamond over your belly, feeling the belly expand with the breath and shrink back in with the exhalation. I'd like you to do that for 5 to 15 minutes. You can go ahead and lie down to do it. It works really well that way if you're really struggling to know and understand your breath. If not, you can do it sitting up, totally up to you, but we're going to stop the video. And again, I would love to hear your comments and feedback. Let me know what worked for you today. Let me know how your day went, focusing on your breath and focusing on joy. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Talk to you soon.